54 missed calls, a story of betrayal, silence, and calculated justice. My name is Callie Monroe, and I thought I had the kind of marriage people envied. 11 years. A mortgage paid down to its last third. A daughter who still believed her parents hung the moon. I worked 60-hour weeks in logistics management so Danielle could build her consulting brand. Her words, always delivered with rehearsed ambition. I never questioned the business trips. Never checked the credit card statements twice. That's what trust looks like from the inside. From the outside, apparently it looks like stupidity. My brother Marcus runs a boutique hotel on the north shore of Oahu. He's the quieter one in our family, methodical, observant, never calls unless it matters. So when my phone lit up with his name on a Tuesday afternoon, I answered mid-bite of a sad desk sandwich. Callie. His voice carried that particular flatness he reserves for bad news. Where's Danielle right now? New York, I said. Client meetings through Thursday. A pause that lasted 3 full seconds. She's in room 214 of my hotel. She checked in yesterday. The man with her isn't a client. My sandwich hit the floor. The architecture of a lie. I stood in my office hallway for 4 minutes. I know because I watched the clock on the wall like it was the only real thing left in the world. 11 years. She had built an entire parallel life inside the cracks of my trust. Marcus texted me a photo. Not of anything explicit. Just Danielle laughing at the hotel bar, her head tilted against a man with broad shoulders and a watch that probably cost more than our first car. Her body language said comfortable, said familiar, said this wasn't new. I called Marcus back. How long have they been there? Checked in Sunday night. Callie, she's charging everything to a card ending in 4471. My card. My name. My 11 years of 60-hour weeks. Something cold moved through me then. Not rage. Rage is loud, impulsive, destroys the wrong things. This was different. This was the feeling of a decision being made somewhere beneath emotion entirely. Don't let her know you recognize her, I said quietly. Act completely normal. Marcus paused. What are you planning? I stared at Danielle's contact photo on my phone. Her smile. God, that smile. I'm planning everything. The calm before. That night, I cooked dinner. Pasta with the rosemary chicken our daughter Lily loves. I helped her with geometry homework. I laughed at her jokes. I tucked her in and read exactly half a chapter of her book before she drifted off. Then I sat at the kitchen table alone and built the plan piece by piece. Marcus was my eyes. He'd already confirmed they were booked through Friday. 5 nights total. I pulled up our joint bank account and screenshots every transaction from the past 4 months. 18 business trip expenses. 11 hotel charges across 6 different cities. A jewelry purchase in March I never saw Danielle wear, because she wore it for him. I called our family attorney, Patricia Osei, just before midnight. She answered on the 3rd ring like she'd been expecting this call from someone eventually. I laid out everything in precise, unemotional sentences. She was quiet throughout. Then she said, "Don't touch the accounts yet. Don't confront her. Just document everything." "I know," I said. "Callie." Her voice softened. "Are you okay?" I looked at Lily's school photo, magnet, to the refrigerator. That gap-toothed grin. Completely innocent. Completely unaware. Not even slightly, I said honestly. 54 missed calls. Friday morning I dropped Lily at school, kissed her forehead, and drove to the airport. Not to confront. Not to scream in a hotel hallway like a daytime television episode. I flew to Oahu because Patricia needed one specific thing, a notarized witness statement from Marcus confirming the dates, the card usage, the man. Legal documentation with a human signature. Irrefutable. Marcus met me at arrivals. He looked older than Christmas. He hugged me without saying anything first, which is exactly what I needed. We sat in his office reviewing everything. Security footage timestamps. Itemized billing. The man's name, Derek Paulson. Pulled from his own check-in registration. Marcus had been thorough. Methodical. He'd protected me the way older brothers do when words feel completely insufficient. I flew home Saturday morning. Danielle wasn't due back until Sunday. Sunday came. I made coffee, read the paper, acted like gravity still worked normally. Then my phone screen lit up.
Danielle.
I let it ring. She called again. 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 I sat completely still, counting each one like a metronome marking the tempo of her panic. By the time the screen went dark for the 54th time, something had permanently shifted inside me. I finally picked up. The performance. Callie, thank God. Her voice was breathless, perfectly calibrated with worry. I've been calling for hours. Is everything okay? Is Lily okay? Leading with our daughter. Impressive instinct. Lily's fine. I said evenly. I was gardening. Phone was inside. The lie came effortlessly. That surprised me. How quickly I'd learned her language. I've been so worried. The reception in New York has been. How's the trip? I interrupted pleasantly. A half-second hesitation. Microscopic.
Exhausting.
Clients are demanding, but it's going well. I miss you both. I stared at Derek Paulson's check-in registration on my laptop screen. His neat signature. His home address in Scottsdale, Arizona. Come home safe, I said warmly. After we hung up, I sat motionless for a long moment. 11 years of marriage, and she hadn't wavered once. Not a single crack in her voice. No guilt bleeding through the edges. She was genuinely, completely comfortable lying to my face. That told me everything about how long this had actually been happening. Patricia called 20 minutes later. The divorce filing was ready. The asset documentation was complete. The evidence package was thorough and legally airtight. Whenever you're ready, Patricia said. I watched Danielle's car pull into our driveway. Now, I said quietly. The table turns. Danielle walked through the door carrying a New York shopping bag. Prop design, thoughtful touch. There's my family. She hugged Lily first, then crossed the kitchen toward me with open arms. I accepted the hug. Held it 1 second longer than necessary. Felt absolutely nothing. Dinner was normal. Lily talked about her geometry test. Danielle asked questions, laughed in the right places, refilled my water glass without being asked. She was magnificent, honestly. A complete performance built on 11 years of practice. After Lily went to bed, Danielle poured 2 glasses of wine, settled onto the couch beside me. I missed this, she said softly. I set down my glass and slid a folder across the coffee table. She looked at it without touching it. Something shifted behind her eyes. Not guilt yet, just animal instinct recognizing danger. What's this? Divorce papers, I said calmly. Patricia filed this morning. The asset freeze on our joint accounts was processed at noon. Your card ending in 4471 was canceled at 2 p.m. The color drained from her face in real time. The ATM charges from Oahu are documented. I continued quietly. Marcus signed the witness statement personally. Her wine glass trembled. You knew, she whispered. The weight of knowing. Danielle didn't cry immediately. She just stared at the folder like it was written in a language she'd spent years pretending not to speak. Callie, listen to me. I have been listening, I said, for 11 years. She tried 4 different approaches in the following 10 minutes. Denial first, briefly, almost half-heartedly. Then minimization. Then the version where I was somehow responsible for the distance between us. Each narrative dissolved the moment I quietly referenced a specific date, a specific city, a specific charge on a statement she'd never expected me to read. Derek Paulson's name broke something open in her finally. Real tears came then. Genuine ones. I could tell the difference now. But grief and guilt aren't the same as remorse, and I understood clearly which one I was witnessing. What about Lily? She said eventually. Her first question about our daughter in 40 minutes of conversation. Lily has 2 parents who love her, I said firmly. That doesn't change. Everything else already has. I stood up, collected my wine glass, and paused in the doorway. Marcus says hello, by the way. I watched that land. Watched her realize the timeline. Watched her understand that while she'd been performing normalcy on our couch, the foundation had already been completely dismantled beneath her. What remains? 3 months later, I stood in my kitchen on a Saturday morning making Lily's favorite pancakes. The house was quieter now. Different quiet than before. Not the hollow kind stuffed with unspoken things, but the honest kind. The kind that lets you breathe all the way down. The divorce finalized in 6 weeks. Patricia was exceptional. The asset documentation Marcus helped build meant the settlement reflected 11 years of my income accurately and completely. Danielle's attorney barely argued. There wasn't much ground left to stand on. Derek Paulson, I later learned, had a wife in Scottsdale. She received an anonymous envelope. I'll leave the contents to your imagination. Marcus flew out for Lily's 9th birthday. He grilled chicken on the back porch and slow danced with nobody to a song only he could hear. I laughed genuinely for the first time in what felt like years. Lily told him he was her favorite uncle. He's her only uncle, but the sentiment held. That evening after she slept, I sat alone on the porch watching the backyard go dark. No rage left. No grief sharp enough to cut. Just the clean, quiet feeling of a woman who chose documentation over destruction, patience over panic, and herself over the performance of a marriage that had already ended long before she knew. Some betrayals don't break you. They simply reveal exactly who you are when everything false finally falls away. I found someone worth keeping inside that wreckage.